This young dude just became the youngest ever to win a fight in the UFC. It's your boy Limitless Mike. I am back with another sports video. I hope you are all having a blessed day. And this guy's name is Raul Rojas Jr. And this past Saturday at UFC 282, he competed on the upcoming card, not on the main card, but he was the final of the day card. And at just 18 years old, he got his first UFC victory, making him the youngest fighter ever to get a win at the UFC and the youngest fighter ever to have a fight in the UFC. Previously, it was by a guy named Chase Hopper who competed at 19 years old, and Raul did it at 18, and technically he did it at 17. Now, just a little backstory or back history on Raul. He is, I believe, Mexican American. He started competing in not more MMA, but he started becoming a martial artist, let's say jiu-jitsu, boxing, all of that at 7 years old because his father was a martial artist himself. Now, at 13, about 12, 13, Raul started to take it very seriously, and he knew that he had dreams of becoming a professional fighter, that he wanted to compete in the UFC, and there he decided that he wanted to become the youngest UFC champion of all time. At 15, just 15 years old, he did his first amateur MMA fight. I believe he was doing that down in Mexico. He said they basically had to talk to promoters and convince them to put him on the card. The promoters did. At 15 years old, he did some more amateur fighting at 16 years old, and at just 17 years old, he went pro and had his first pro fight, fighting guys who were essentially 25. He said he fought a guy that was even like 33 or 34 years old, and he was doing that at just 17. Dana White has a new thing called the Contender Series. If you're not familiar, I'm sure a lot of you know about it, but if you don't, it's basically an incubator program for him where he can put up and coming guys, he can put essentially just up and coming guys and gals into a incubator where they duke it out for a chance to get in the UFC. And Rojas was invited to take part in that. And what's crazy is that when this was happening, he was only 17 years old, and the Nevada State Commission had to basically pull some strings for him, and his parents had to sign off. He had to have a parent and guardian signature for him to be able to compete in Dana White's Contender Series, because again, he's just a high schooler. Right now, he is still a high school senior. A lot of his peers are worried about going to prom or getting their first kiss or maybe having sex for the first time, and he just got his first UFC victory. Now, in the Dana White Contender Series, he had, I believe, one match where he won by decision, and from there he was signed to the UFC, and again had to get that parent guardian to even sign off for him to be able to compete in the big show. Now, this past Sunday, he was in the big show and he competed against Jay Perrion, and they were going back and forth. There was a lot of chatter because Raul was so young. Jay is an older grown man, and you know, when you're about to fight someone, you are going to talk. Once they got into the ring, Raul said that he was not nervous at all in the fight, but at least in my opinion, on the stand-up portion, he did look to be a little nervous. I would be nervous if it was my first time in the UFC, and I would definitely be a little nervous if it was my first time and I was only 18 years old. On the stand-up, he did very well, but it did look a little shaky. It did look a little like frantic for him on the stand-up, but he probably listened to his corner and he went to what he does best, and that is grappling and jiu-jitsu. Because about probably after, let's say, 45 seconds of stand-up, he went and he shot to take Jay down. Jay had good takedown defense, but Raul just muscled through. He just picked him up like he was a baby, slammed him on the ground, and that made us all go, ooh, okay, what's going on? From there was a lot of jiu-jitsu, hand fighting, getting all the position, but eventually Raul was able to just get Jay's back and choke him out. He got a rear naked choke and got his first UFC victory at just 18 years old. He was getting a lot of love from the crowd. He got love from Conor McGregor. He's getting a lot of love from Dana White and everyone because he's so young. He's the wonder boy. He's the wonder kid. But with all that, of course, there has been some hate with people saying that he's too young, with him getting that debut at 17, saying that his brain's not fully developed. A young man shouldn't be, doing that already. And he has a lot of big goals. Rojas has said that he wants to be the youngest UFC champion ever. He said he wants to be a UFC champion by the age of 20. So a lot of people are just saying, hey, bro, you got a lot of dip on your chip. Like, ease up, slow down, and just get some wins. But Rojas is super confident, and we will have to watch and wait to see how the future unfolds for him, because we could be looking at the next UFC mixed martial arts or just kind of fighting prodigy. He can still do his jiu-jitsu, he can do MMA, he can do grappling, he can learn how to be a better boxer. So we may be looking at just a martial arts prodigy, or it may be like other sports where the number one draft pick, Anthony Bennett, is a good example. He was the number one draft pick in the NBA, and it didn't turn out too much. So we will have to wait and see what happens to Raul Rojas Jr. But as of right now, he is the youngest to ever do it in the UFC. He's the youngest to ever get in the cage, and he is the youngest to ever get a victory, and that must be saluted. So congratulations to Raul. Congratulations to your family. Keep up the good work. And if you like sports videos like this, if you're interested in MMA, track and field, working out, just sports in general, and if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. It is your boy Limitless Mike. I hope you have a blessed day, and I'm out. Peace.